Hi guys, this is Mrs. Malik, and I'm going to review photosynthesis and cellular respiration today. Let's start with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is going to take place in plants. These are our autotrophs. They're going to use carbon dioxide, water, and light energy to create our glucose sugars, and oxygen as a waste product. And this is what it would kind of look like. The process is going to result in glucose, a glucose molecule, and oxygen as a waste product. And it's going to store a bunch of energy in those bonds between the carbon and hydrogen atoms. There are two steps to the process of photosynthesis. The first step is I like to look at the word photosynthesis itself and say, break it up into two pieces. First, photo means light, and that's going to refer to our light reactions. Photosynthesis light reactions are going to be taking place in the chloroplast, as you can see down here. It's going to use water with energy from light in the thylakoids of our chloroplasts, and through the electron transport chains going to release energy and oxygen, and that energy is going to be in the form of ATP. Now our energy will be used in the Calvin cycle, where it's going to break our carbon dioxide molecules that were taken in through the stroma of our leaves and plant cells, and it's going to create a sugar that it's going to store. That's the synthesis part, or for photosynthesis, the building part, and also known as the dark reactions. In contrast, cellular respiration is basically the opposite. The organisms that are going to use cellular respirations typically are our heterotrophs. They're going to start with glucose molecules that they've taken in as food and oxygen that they've breathed in to break it down and get energy for their daily functions, for their bodily functions. And it's going to look something like this. Okay, so we've broken that big glucose molecule down. We have energy released. We have water molecules and carbon dioxide given as a waste product in the process. There are three steps to the process of aerobic cellular respiration. First is glycolysis. Glycolysis is going to take place in the cytoplasm of the cells. In that process, glucose is going to be a 6-carbon sugar is going to be broken down to pyruvate to 3-carbon sugars, and it's going to create some ATP. In fact, it's going to use 2 ATP and it's going to create 4 ATP, basically a net result of 2 ATP. The pyruvate will then enter into the Krebs cycle. And in the Krebs cycle, it's going to be the sugar is going to be broken down even further. That process is going to happen in the matrix of the mitochondria. It's going to generate ATP somewhere in the range of 0 to 2 ATP, and it's going to release electrons that will then enter through the electron transport system. The electron transport system is going to be taking place along the inner membrane of the mitochondria. It's that very convoluted inner membrane that makes up the cristae. It gives a lot of surface area for plenty of electron transport to occur, and it's going to result in making oxygen, it's going to use oxygen and water, and it's going to make 32 ATP. Now, plants actually use both photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis is going to take place during the day when it has access to sunlight, and respiration will also take place during the day. Respiration is needed by the plants to break its food down for use for energy for itself. And then in the evening or nighttime hours when it's dark, we can't have those light reactions taking place. Respiration will be the only process that takes place for using energy. It's important to also note that there are processes in place or that can be used by organisms that are missing light or in the absence of oxygen. First would be chemosynthesis for the absence of light. Chemosynthesis is going to take place in organisms that live in very dark areas like deep ocean vents. These specialized tube worms here can get very, very large in size, and they have bacteria that live in their gut. The bacteria will use the hydrogen sulfides from sulfur vents to generate energy for those tube worms. And then in the absence of oxygen, organisms are able to go through a process called fermentation. Now, fermentation is going to use glycolysis, but it cannot then, the energy cannot be used in the Krebs cycle because there's no oxygen. So there's two pathways that can take place. The first would be alcohol fermentation. It's done in yeasts and some single-celled organisms. And then in mammals, there's the process of lactic acid fermentation. A lot of athletes are very familiar with lactic acid fermentation because that's what results in your sore muscles after a particularly intense workout. So I hope you guys feel comfortable with respiration, cellular respiration, and photosynthesis today. Thanks.